Okay, today we're going to do up a whitetail on the We Live It series YouTube video, and just to show a little bit about skinning a deer. I learned this about 33 years ago from my father-in-law, who I believe is probably one of the most accomplished whitetail deer hunters I've ever met. He showed me a lot of tricks along the way, and this is just one I wanted to share with you guys. He taught me to hang the deer by the head this way. A lot of guys hang them the opposite from the other end. We'll have to cut that out because that really sucked. And by doing that, a lot of guys claim that you don't get the heat out of the body cavity, but he taught me to cut this below where the windpipe is and put in what we call the chimney, which is just a piece of plastic pipe, lets all the heat out. So the way we're going to do this today is by using a winch on the four-wheeler, and it's a real quick, clean, efficient way of doing it. So what we do is we start with our primary cuts from the leg, straight up, and we'll go right up to where that chimney was. That on both sides. Nice and neat like that. I'm using the ladder today because I have this deer hung just a little bit higher, so it just makes it a little easier to access. Now we cut above the ears, and this part here is going to be very important in connecting to the winch, as you'll see in a bit. So just over top of the ears. And there's a cartilage in there. You cut right through. Bottom, we'll cut up like so. And that's all there is to your primary cuts. Now we're going to take a shop vac, clean out the loose hair, connect this wire. You can use a small rope or anything to attach to around the ears. We'll hook it to the winch. We'll simply pull the hide off, nice and clean. You vacuum out all your hair first, everything stays good. Okay, so we'll just take a couple of seconds here and just go over the cut, get all the loose hair out. This will make for a much nicer job at the end. I don't know how many people vacuum their deer, but we just did. Now I've attached this little cable right around the ears. It's an old wolf snare that I've reused with a cam lock on it. Now we'll attach this to the winch of the four-wheeler and hopefully see how nicely it pulls the hide off the deer. So along the way you have to help it with a few cuts here and there, just as it starts to get too tight. We don't really want to tear the scratch down tonight, but so you'll find along the way you just help it a little bit with a knife, but with minimal cutting, the winch will do the work. And the less cutting you're doing, the less chance you're getting more hair back towards the meat, and it just gives you a real nice clean finish. So doing this video, we're just taking our time and trying to do a real nice job for demonstration, but you can go quicker once you get on it. Okay, and we're just gonna take a minute, we'll stop, do a little cutting around the legs of the. This is one spot here where it seems to get a little tight and takes a little bit more knife work to do up underneath, if you want to call it, kind of under the armpit of the deer. And this part that comes down across the brisket has to be cut down with a knife as well. It has to be skinned down as you go as well. Cut through there. Takes a little bit of hand work here, but the winch is doing all the work. And as you can see, we're gonna have a nice clean finish here and hardly any hair to pick off, so it should be good. Now we've just cleaned up around with the knife and gone behind the shoulders here underneath just to loosen things off, pulled it down and cut the hide off right at the legs. You can use the saw, of course, to cut the leg off as you continue on, or even before, whatever you choose. Now we're just gonna pull the hide off the back and hopefully it should come off nice and clean. And when you get to the tail, you just take your meat saw, cut the tail off. Cuts. Carry on winching right down to the end. I'm just helping out. I'm just a little short on room, so I'm just helping out my hand here a little bit at the end. But if I had the garage door open, I could have the bike out, have a lot more room. So there you go. It shows you how easy it is to take the hide off using a winch. And as you can see, I don't think I'll pick 2 or 3 hairs off this whole deer. So it's a nice, clean, efficient way of doing it, and you get a real nice job. So there you have it. That's skinning the deer 101 with a 4-wheeler winch. Make all your primary cuts. Put a strap around the ears, pull it down, work a little bit with the knife in between as I showed you along the way, and you'll end up with a nice clean product like this. You can always touch it up quickly with a shop vac if you do have a few loose hairs, and you get a real nice product. This should take you anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes just on how things go. As tonight we were just trying to take our time and do a nice demonstration and produce a good video. So this deer was taken by my daughter Hannah, co-owner of Westside Bait and Tackle, where you can stop in and get all your deer feed and attractants. And this deer was taken baited with Super Sweet. Hopefully you guys learned something from this and it'll make your skinning easier in the future on your deer. I think it's helped me out a great deal. I've watched a lot of guys struggle with skinning deer along the way, and I've shared this story with many people, but I've never really showed the video or made a YouTube video on it. This came from, like I said earlier, from my father-in-law, who had lots of experience in doing up deer and taught me a lot about hunting in general with deer. And I credit everything to him for what I've learned here, and it sure makes the job a lot easier. So I hope you enjoyed this.